Okay, Alexander, we have got the Vice President, Kamala Harris, is on her way to Vietnam. And she's the first Vice President to go to Vietnam. I'm sure everyone that's watching this video knows the history of the United States and Vietnam. And the slogan, the tagline that the Harris-Biden White House is using as they make preparations for her trip to Vietnam is, "America is back." That is a quote. America is back. Kamala Harris, and I'm reading you from RT, the first paragraph. Kamala Harris wants Vietnam to know that America is back when she travels there later this month. Do I need to say anything more about these
cannot,
words?
You cannot make this up.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
By the way, everybody.
I mean, it is so staggering. It is so bizarre. I mean, let's just explain why she's going to Vietnam. I mean, by the way, Vietnam has been receiving one US visitor after another. Lloyd Austin, the US Defense Secretary, was just there a few days ago. And now Kamala Harris is going. The point is that the United States is now involved in this great confrontation with China in the Pacific, especially in the South China Sea. Vietnam and China have disputed territorial claims in the South China Sea. The United States wants to enlist Vietnam to be its ally in containing China in the South China Sea, in the Pacific, and that's why all these American officials, there's been many of them, have been going to Hanoi to meet the Vietnamese communist leadership and to try to persuade them to join in the United States in containing China. And Vietnam has up to now and consistently said no. They said, yes, we have many issues with China, but we do not want to be part of this argument between you and China. We have a policy that we do not enter into alliances. We do not have bases on our territory. And besides, China is far and away our biggest economic and commercial partner. And of course, they're both communist governments, and we share ideological perspectives anyway. So the Vietnamese have been very difficult to persuade. And so what do you do when you're finding that the Vietnamese are not keen to speak to you? Well, you send Kamala Harris, and she reminds the Vietnamese about how the United States is back. I mean, it's as I said, you couldn't make it up. I mean, it's just the most difficult, precarious diplomatic mission in Asia, the one to the country with the most powerful military in that part of Asia, on the South China Sea, the country you want to enlist as an ally against China. And what do? You remind the Vietnamese that you fought a war against them, in which, millions of Vietnamese die. And you said, here we are, we're coming back.
Let me read you 3-4 tweets, and you can comment on them, because I mean, people on Twitter, they just laid into her, and for good reason. Max Blumenthal, he tweeted, Kamala Harris's upcoming trip to Vietnam, and I quote, will build on the Biden-Harris administration's message to the world. America is back, end quote, her office said in a statement. America is back in Vietnam. Got that? That is what Max Blumenthal tweeted. Another tweet says, is it intended as a threat? WTF, question mark. Another tweet said, it went so well the first time, right? And finally, Alexander, another person tweeted, I hope she has a better exit strategy than 46 years ago.
I mean, yeah, we can laugh, and we should laugh, because I mean, it's so bizarre, it's so ridiculous. But think what the Vietnamese are going to be thinking, and the Politburo in Hanoi are pretty tough-minded, hard-headed people. They're going to be saying to themselves, who is this idiot? I mean, comes along with this imbecile thing. Do we want to ally ourselves with somebody who says something like that? I mean, we're not offended because, it's impossible to be offended by something so utterly crass. But what image does this give of the diplomacy, the intelligence, the foresight of the United States when the vice president comes along and talks to us in this way? I mean, when we're dealing with the Chinese, yes, they're powerful, scary even, but they are serious people. Are we going to be talking with somebody like Kamala Harris, who is obviously not serious? I mean, that's what they're going to be thinking.
Yeah, she did such a bang-up job at the border, being the border czar, that they're sending her to Vietnam. Why are they sending her to Vietnam? The slogan, the tagline, "America is back" aside, which shows how dumb they are. I've said it many times, actually, by the way, on a side note, that this is the worst communications department I think I've ever seen in the history of the United States president, the White House. This communications department is atrociously bad. But why are you sending Kamala Harris? Everyone knows that she's the most unlikable person next to Hillary Clinton that you could ever possibly send on a diplomatic mission. I mean, you might as well just send Hillary.
Well,
we saw, he died. Send Hillary Clinton.
I know. Well, quite. Well, I'm going to make a guess, actually. I'm pretty sure that the reason is because she insisted on going, and because Obama, who is her patron and who is obsessed with Vietnam, I mean, he thinks the place is absolutely wonderful, and he always goes on and on about what a great place Vietnam is. I suspect that he insisted on sending her there because he wants to send her there because he wants to also be involved in this great rapprochement with Vietnam, which exists only in his own imagination. So I suspect that's why she's going. There is another factor, which is that she's known to get on badly with Lloyd Austin, who's the US Defense Secretary. They've already had spats with each other, and I suspect that she's even more determined to go because he's just been. So that's probably why they're sending her there. But I mean, it's absolutely the worst kind of, well, we can't even call it diplomacy. I mean, I don't know what to call it actually. But all I'm going to say is that, as I said, the people in Vietnam, the hard men in Vietnam are going to be, I am sure, persuaded powerfully of what they should do when Kamala Harris comes, only it'll be the opposite of what she wants. I mean, it's just as I say, inane. It's also very funny, I have to say.
God, I guess to wrap it up, we can say this is going to be a W, another win for China, another L, another loss for the United States.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, can I just say something again? I mean, the US is drifting into a confrontation with China. Now, Donald Trump, I'll bring him up again. He had his issues with China, as we all know, and they centered on economics and trade, and he knew what he was doing. This is completely different. This is trying to turn this into some sort of great epic geopolitical battle. Well, you can argue about the sense of that. But if you're going to turn it into a great geopolitical battle, what do? You send Kamala Harris to Hanoi? Is that how you conduct a geopolitical conflict? I mean, it seems so absurd. Of course the Chinese are winning. I mean, I'll tell you who's definitely laughing. The Politburo in Beijing must be laughing. I am sure that Xi Jinping and his friends are all opening the champagne as we speak.
What a disaster. What a disaster this is turning out to be. All right, I'm speechless again. What can I say? Like I said, pretty soon you're going to be, and this is not a joke, they're going to be sending Hillary Clinton to Libya.
Well, indeed,
John Kerry to Syria. Yeah, that's where we're heading.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, absolutely. Well, they already sent Blinken to Anchorage, where, as I said, the Chinese obliterated him. Then they sent Wendy Sherman to Tianjin, and then she came back, and we had a readout in which she pretended that she met somebody in Beijing who was different from the person she actually did meet, because the person she did meet she didn't think was senior enough. I mean, that kind of crazy stuff. And now we send Kamala Harris to Hanoi when she says America is back. I mean, it's just, you cannot make this up. This is the worst foreign policy administration I can remember. And, you know, that takes some winning. I mean, my mind goes back to Jimmy Carter, and this is, you know, if there was an Olympic medal in being the worst foreign policy administration, this one is winning ahead by miles.
All right, final question. As they were drafting and crafting this statement, was there no one in the entire White House, in the entire communications department, to just sit there and take a step back and say, everybody, you know, maybe saying America is back as the vice president prepares to go to Vietnam is not the right words we should use? Was there anybody? Or are these people that freaking incompetent? I just don't want to believe that these people are that dumb, but I guess they are.
Yeah, well, they are. I mean, they clearly are, because what other explanation is there? I mean, I can't believe that they did this on purpose. They didn't do this because they were trying to do something, you know, clever. They did this because this is stupid, and so they must be. I mean, it's just too stupid to be anything else than just stupid. I mean, you know, it's just. I mean, it's so bizarre. It's so weird, and again, because this was all passed by the president's desk, and remember that the president himself lived during the time of the war in Vietnam. If you had a real president, if you had somebody who was really in control, who was able to make decisions, who understood what was in front of him, well, a real president would never have allowed a thing like that. I mean, even if all the other people in the administration, he'd have fired them, exactly. But of course, this one, well, he isn't there.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there. Not much more to say on this one.
There's not much more one can say. Exactly.
All right. Real news. Use that code. Get 10% off Duran gear. I'm wearing a Duran shirt. Alexander's wearing a Duran long sleeve, I believe.
Absolutely. It's quite cold again.
Long sleeve.
London is very variable. Yeah.
All right. And we've got our magic mugs right here as well. 10% off when you use the code Real News. And Alexander, we urge everybody to check us out on the awesome new media platforms, ODYSEE, SuperU, BitChute, and Rumble. All those platforms are really growing a lot. That's great news. So find us there. And we absolutely urge everyone to go to theduranlocals.com. Sign up. It's free to join. It's free to consume the content. And we're going to be rolling out some other services on there, but everything that we do on all our channels, all our posts, everything is going there. Plus, the community is contributing articles as well, censor-free articles, and you can find it all there. Alexander, we want people to plug into the Duran at theduran.locals.com.
Absolutely, because there's also more coming. We got great ambitions and great plans for what we're going to do there. So just join us there, because I mean, what you'll find there is already amazing, and it will soon become more amazing still.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of interesting content, including streams from our mobile devices. That's just a hint of some of the stuff that we're rolling out and that we're preparing on locals.com, and of course, content, Alexander, that we can't talk about on YouTube. We'll just be able to just talk freely on Locals.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. You'll find that link down below. Take care.